Okay, so if pre-recording a video is something that's absolutely new to you, then the first thing you might want to do is just stay using a whiteboard. Now, it's not what I'd necessarily recommend. I think you should jump in with either an overhead capture, visualizer capture, and so on. But at the same time, a lot of the style of your delivery will need to change if you go away from what I'm about to do. So we'll try to keep this to 6, 7, 8 minutes, and I'll just give a lesson on place value polynomial expansion. Okay, so we'll connect this with previous learning by talking about the fact that we know how to distribute multiplication across addition. Okay, so we'll make it very, very simple, and we'll do just a very generic expansion like so. So we have so according to distribution across multiplication, we know that we will want to do x will want to multiply across this bracket here, giving us 1x, and then going on. And that's the end of that, and then the 1 will expand across here, giving us another 1x and a 1. Okay, and that would tidy up to x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, but things get a lot hairier when we go on into. I'll keep using monic coefficients everywhere. So, but things get a lot hairier when we start doing this expansion. So we're not even going to try, and most of us will have had some experience of using a kind of a grid system here. So let's set this up as a grid and go ahead with our expansions term by term. So that'll be an x to the 4, an x to the 3, an x squared. Okay, now the reason I'm using monic is I'm just trying to introduce the pattern itself, which is that we're kicking off with the highest possible power, and a quad on a quad brings you up to degree 4 here. Okay, so the next one will be degree 3. We can double check that that's true, and that's just a continually descending degree. And then the last one will just be bringing in the powers as they were. And of course, in a general sense, there'll be coefficients to be worrying about, which will all be products. But not in this case. So I just want to know that there are 2 of these, there are 3 of these, and there are 2 of these. So the final result is x to the 4 plus 2x squared plus 2x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. And of course, those of us in the know, we're not talking about junior cert here, will recognize that these are just binomial coefficients. Okay, but so what I want to introduce today is so I've just got, I'm already 4 minutes into this, 3.5 minutes into this video, and this is what you have to be aware of regarding finishing up videos in a timely fashion. Now 6 minutes isn't a strict cutoff, but 10 is, you lose a lot of your audience after 10 minutes. So I'm going to introduce a place value, a multiplication, but I just simply, okay, I will fully populate up this. I'll call this x squared plus x plus 1, and I'll vertically underneath that, right, like so. Okay, so now but we'll treat this like long multiplication. So we'll start off here and multiply on up, and we get a 1, an x, and an x squared. Now generally when the signs are plus, they're optional. So the next thing is when we're kicking in here, what we're going to do is the place value of just constants, the independent place value, doesn't exist. But just as we used to do back in, the students used to do back in primary school, we put a 0 there. Okay, so that will bring us on into an x squared, and an x cubed. Just take that out from the previous question there. Okay, and then we get to here, and we'll notice that all we have to do now is put down 2 notes. Okay, and we'll have our x cubed, our x squared for the first one, then an x cubed, and then an x to the 4. Okay, and sure enough, we're seeing the same doubling up. That you'll be adding 2 x cubed terms, and you'll be adding 2 x terms, and the one in the middle seems to be the busiest one. Okay, and we get x to the 4. Again, we get the same answer. It would be pretty catastrophic if we didn't get the same answer. You did need to kind of keep track of this bit, so I actually misfired there a little bit, and 2x plus 1. Okay, but if we think a bit critically here, we can realize all those x's are really clouding what's going on. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get rid of them. Now to get rid of them, we just write 1. So what we're really doing is now we're getting down to place value, and we're saying, well, the first place value is the independent constant x squared, and then we'll have to leave a little bit of room to the left to bring the higher order terms in. So then things look very nice, and so nice that you're just simply going to see a 1 1 1, a 0 1 1 1, and a 0 0 1 1 1. Okay, and at this stage, I'd like to think that we'll repopulate with the variables. So we'll go x to the 4 plus 2x to the 3 plus 3x squared plus. And again, I need to take it easy here. But what I've done was I have just not I'm making things life hard for myself by not keeping things vertical and respecting place. So x to the 4 plus 2x to the 3, just had to shrink my writing there a bit, plus 3x squared. And you can see, even using the most simple and no missing coefficients, you still have several balls in the air. It's still a bit of juggling. So I'm going to let this run a bit long. I'm at 7 minutes now. So a 4, a power 3, a power 2, a power 1, and now we come to an individual power. So let's take this thing out for a spin now and put some proper coefficients in there. We keep them all positive just to keep things nice. Just to say we won't go mad altogether. Okay, but and let's leave monics out of it altogether. So let's go 2x squared plus 3x plus 4 multiplied by 5x squared plus 6x plus 7. Now the numbers will become a little bit unwieldy, but let's give it a go anyway. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, 21, 14, down to 0, 24 here, keeping track, 18 and 12, and we're going with 2 zeros, and we're up to our 20 multiples of 5 through 15 and 10. Okay, and repopulate to go 10x to the 4 plus 27x to the 3 plus anything nice going on here. Well, that's 32, 52x to the 2 plus 45x plus 28. Okay, and throwing minuses in there won't be a killer. You'll just have a little bit of integer arithmetic there, but that's it. That's a 9-minute video, and that would be a higher level leaving cert kind of section A question, and they would get them through a question that would be much quicker than maybe they do it from some of the methods they give in the books. Okay, thank you.